Peter just stood there staring at himself.
I'm the only person not there.
You are.
Because you're not sat down.
However.
Oh.
The camera's
We
there.
can do that for March.
You need to stand in front of the camera, Peter. That's
May.
why.
You can do that for May. May the 4th.
It's recording. It's already recording.
Yeah.
It is. There's a square there, which means it's recording.
Yes, we're 22 seconds in. I should probably just come in and sit down
You
and
should
go.
probably should.
I was going to slap you on the back, and that would have been really mean.
On the butt.
It's
On the
64
back
weeks,
of
and this is your Popcorn Pundits, and Peter's just looking tanned and gorgeous at the moment. If you haven't got YouTube. Yeah. It's your Popcorn Pundits. We are a trio of cinema lovers. We are going to be educating you and informing you and entertaining you for the next approximately 45 minutes, I'm guessing.
You're not going to say much tonight then, James?
No, I'm not. Yes.
No
We're
interruptions, please.
We are going to be highlighting the top 10 of the cinemas at the moment. We're also going to be reviewing a film that went at the cinema, and then we're going to be talking about homework, past, future, and present.
Yes.
That's it. That's the one. Nikki, Peter, and James, the fantastic trio of cinema lovers. Hi, guys.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
I'm super good. Yeah.
You're super good. Are you good?
I'm good.
You're good. She's good. She's
Yeah,
good. He's good.
Had a week off from cinema watching, and
You have?
now I've caught up.
Yay.
Absolutely.
Well, kind of caught up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Should we do the top 10?
Let's crack on with the top 10, shall we?
It's a special top 10 today. I've started at 11.
No, you haven't.
I have.
You started at number 1.
At number 1.
Technically, it's a
They've
double
just-
number 1.
They've just put it. It's bookended by ones.
That's right.
Number 1. 1.
Yes.
Paddington in Peru.
Okay, number 1 after 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you just such your nose in a Pinocchio sort of way when you're doing it? Is that what you did?
Yeah, because I'm an idiot, and after 64 weeks, I still don't have a clue what I'm talking about when it comes to film.
Yes, you do.
Thanks,
A little
James.
bit.
Unless,
Just a little bit.
unless you want to act like it's highbrow, and then you're going to just tell me I'm
I
stupid
don't know what
and
you're talking
wrong.
about.
Number 10, Maria, by Studio Canal.
So that is the Angelina Jolie movie, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
She plays famed opera singer Maria Calais, and she retreats to Paris in the 1970s after a glamorous yet tumultuous life in the public
Tumultuous.
eye. I know.
Fucking hell.
I
That
like
word
that
for a
word.
dyslexic
I
person,
love
James.
that. How's it spelled? Has it got a Q in it?
No,
better
but
have.
it should do.
Yes, indeedy. Yes, I do like. I do you know what? I've got a couple of her albums. Not Angelina Jolie, which would be quite amusing, actually, wouldn't it? Brad, get out of my pub.
I don't
That
think
sort of thing.
that's how she
That's
identifies.
exactly how she
I don't
talks.
think
Just
that's how she
like she's
identifies
just
anymore.
like Barbara Windsor.
I think that ship has sailed now,
No, exactly.
potentially.
Number 9.
Yes.
Oh, you went to see this, didn't you? Better Man.
I went to see it 4 times and I didn't go and see it. I booked it 4 times and I didn't go and see it.
Is that because your better judgment was kind of screaming at you, saying, "Don't go and see"?
No,
this"?
no. I tell you what it was. It was just literally just time took over, and I just didn't have time. I'm trying not to judge it before I go and see it, or even see it.
Oh, I'm trying to judge it as much
I
as
know
possible
you
before I
are.
see it. And I keep seeing trailers, and I don't like it anymore. I mean, the fact that this is like one of the most famous pop people on the planet
Yes,
ever,
absolutely.
and it's in at number 9.
I know.
That means it's horseshit, doesn't
Well,
it?
not necessarily. You're judging it even before you see
Okay,
it.
it's the 9th best film
Right.
this week.
Fine. Okay.
Number 8, Moana 2.
Paddington 2.
Right. Okay then.
Yeah,
Good.
number 8.
I haven't
Moana
seen
2.
it.
I haven't
No,
seen it either.
I really
No.
want to. I keep meaning
You don't mind judging that before you've been to see it?
No.
Oh.
What I'm doing is I'm just regurgitating other people's judging because they've seen it already. And I've
Number
been told-
7,
Yes.
Wicked.
Which we have seen.
Yeah, we need
All
to,
3
we
of
haven't
us.
got our board out.
We
I
do.
know
So
we
we
need
get
to
the board.
update scores.
And
I
we
got
need to
the board.
we need to
It's not
update
up
the
to date.
scores.
We do.
Number 6 is a film called A Real Pain, which
Wow.
is the film that you and I went to see
Yes.
this week.
That's right.
And I didn't even know this film existed until
Didn't you?
I went to see it.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been looking forward to this film for ages.
Well, yes, because you're a proper film reviewer
Oh,
and I'm just a ligger on.
Liquor on.
Number 5 is Baby Girl.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, that is the new Nicole Kidman movie, which
Oh, yeah, I know all about that. Yeah.
and I'm in 2 minds about how and I'm doing what you're doing. I'm actually judging it in my own head even before I go and see this film.
What are you judging about?
The
The
advert.
plot line.
Yeah, no, forget about the plot. The advert itself just makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable, and I don't know why.
Seriously,
it
about
does.
the relationship element of this.
I think it's the control level. I just find the control level a little bit too dark and creepy
It's
for
not
me.
the first time that's a plot line's been. I mean, you had the one with Martin Freeman and Jenna Ortega recently, which is
That's
the
very
same
true.
type of idea.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
didn't mind watching that over and over again, did you?
I wouldn't. I just don't know why. I just feel a little bit weird about it.
Number
I mean, I'll definitely watch it.
Number 4 is the other film that James went to see this week, which is We Live in Time. Oh no, you didn't go and see
that's
this.
very true.
Yeah, you
Yes,
didn't go
very
and
true.
see that.
However, we do have a friend of ours who's actually worked quite hard on this piece of work. Big shout out to Phil.
Oh, did he work
Mr.
on
Philly
this?
Ball, yes. So we do need to watch this and give Phil some feedback. And I'd be quite interesting to see, can we get him on the show?
Okay,
That'd be quite cool,
it
wouldn't
would.
it?
Do you
Yes.
want to go on holiday again, and you can just get him to sub me?
You're not. You're
Don't
irreplaceable.
tempt us. I mean, you're irreplaceable.
Yeah. Anyway, carry on.
Number 3, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I love it when that happens.
What's that? When
Number
3 and
3, Sonic the Hedgehog
Now,
3.
weirdly, I've heard this is
It's
amazing.
supposed to be incredible. So my daughter, who's studying animation, is
Yes.
desperate to go and see it, but she's got so much coursework, she hasn't got time to go and see it.
Well, she better get her coursework done then, hadn't she?
Yeah,
Number 2.
I'll tell her. Thanks, Nikki.
That's okay.
Number 2 is Nosferatu.
Nosferatu is number 2.
Oh yeah, it's got 2 on the end. That's brilliant. Oh, that's even better than an actual thing.
Nosferatu.
So when the next one comes out, it's going to be
Nosferatu
Nosferatu.
one.
Tutu. And they're all going to wear
They
ballet.
are, and that's going to be Abigail.
Nosferatu 3.
Number 1,
Yes.
Mufasa, the Lion King.
Yes. I don't think I've seen the first one.
I'm sensing some James homework coming up.
Hmm.
I haven't seen this, and
So-
I should go and see it. I've heard it's quite
This
cute.
is obviously the story of Simba's dad, and it's one of those live action remake things.
Yeah.
Isn't that James Earl Jones played his dad before?
He in the original cartoon. Yeah.
He's dead now, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Never mind.
Yeah, so
Yeah, he
this
got killed by the bad lion.
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
him. This is Mufasa as a cub and him growing up to then turn into Simba's dad.
Right. Okay. And are they still using James Earl Jones' voice for this? For the...
No,
he's
unfortunately
dead. Well, you
not.
could AI
It's Aaron Pierre,
Mm.
and Nala is played by Beyonce, and one of the others is played by Mads Mikkelsen.
Is it?
Yeah, I knew that would pique your
Like a bit
interest.
Mads.
I know you do.
So weird.
Isn't he?
No, you.
Wowzers. Okay. Should we start talking about a film that we went to see?
So this is the main part of the show that we are going to be reviewing a film that we've seen at the cinema. Peter and I sometimes in the past went to the cinema together.
It has happened historically.
And what we tried to do is we tried to do poker faces at the end, pretending that we're not going to give anything away, and then we review each other live on podcasts.
yeah,
So it's
and
fresh.
which is actually a really difficult thing to do.
Do you find it difficult?
Well, to not tell you what I think when I'm leaving the cinema.
Because
Yes,
you
I
always
do.
try to guess what I think.
No, I'm not.
You do, you
Oh,
go.
I don't care what you think.
It's
Never
all
a true word
it's
said
all
in jest.
subjective.
No, but I find it really difficult because you come out and love it or hate it or indifferent.
Yes.
You always want to. It's that whole Christian Slater thing
Yes.
in True Romance
That's
where he
right.
likes to go to the cinema and then go out for pie and talk about the film.
Exactly.
I want to go out for pie with you and
Talk
talk
about the film. Exactly. But this is us doing it now. You just have to wait.
I know, but there's no
You just
pie.
have to wait. However, I'm very excited because we do have 2 reviews from Tucker TV this week.
Shut up,
Yes,
do
we
we?
do.
Awesome.
Because I went to the cinema to go and see The Real Pain with Tucker TV.
Awesome.
And I've purposely not read or listened to any of the reviews.
Right, okay.
And I'm very, very excited to
Have
hear
you got
what they've
anything
got to
from
say.
Lawrence this week?
No, I think Lawrence is going to get back to us with his review of Wicked.
He was.
And he hasn't got back to us yet, has
Not
he?
yet.
No, so we
possibly, as we speak, he may be sending it.
could get a live.
Oh yeah, he's very conscious of the fact
And
that we
here he
record
is
this live.
now, turning up.
Oh, I've just kept your seat warm. Right, let's talk about Real Pain.
Please do.
Okay, so
So-
this is.
Let's start from the beginning, though. You knew nothing about this film.
I
You,
had
knew, you
absolutely
didn't even know this film existed.
And I love going to the cinema when I know nothing about a film whatsoever.
Good. I'm
I
really,
knew
really pleased.
I knew that Kieran Culkin was in it,
Yes.
and I knew that Jesse Eisenberg had written it, directed it, and that's all I knew.
That's pretty much
on the
what I
way-
knew.
on the way in.
Yes, I knew it was going to be a road movie-esque. I was already putting it in the same camp as Sideways and such films such as that, and I would have the vision of it being a little bit Woody Allen.
Yeah.
That's how I initially thought
Yeah.
it was going to be like. So you've got the
This is one of the shortest films you're going to see this year.
It is very short.
It's very short and sweet.
They're not short people, though, are they?
Who isn't?
Jesse's not short, is he? He's quite tall.
I don't know whether that's got any relevance whatsoever.
No, I'm just pointing it out there.
I think you'll find that Kieran Culkin is absolutely tiny.
I think he is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially when he's really far back doing that statue thing, he looks minuscule. Yeah.
Tiny, yes.
Basically, we're on a little journey.
Yeah, it's the plot is two cousins, isn't it? On a little road trip.
Yeah, two cousins, and their grandmother.
That's right.
Has passed away. Grandma Dodie.
That's right.
Has passed away, and this is like the two cousins have. They grew up like brothers, even though they were cousins, and their kind of lives have taken separate journeys. Jesse Eisenberg's character has got married and got a new a young child.
That's David,
and he has basically really kind of got sucked into that family life. He's got himself a job.
Yeah,
which
he's an ordinary, straight, sort of very down the road, very sort of normal chap, isn't he, in that respect?
And Kieran Culkin is basically playing
Benji,
the character that he always plays, basically.
That's right.
The slightly out there, weird, eccentric cousin to Jesse's character.
Heart on his sleeve.
And they join a tour of Poland where the grandmother lived. And,
a heritage tour, isn't it?
That's right, yeah.
That's right.
And basically,
and it's funded by their grandmother because it's they're using her inheritance to go back to her original home in Poland.
It was her idea, wasn't it? So it was part of their inheritance was given to them to do this tour, so they could go back and actually visit her house.
Yes, right.
And have a bit of a kind of I'm not going to call it a pilgrimage because it's obviously very the house is in Poland and it's a very kind of Jewish themed journey.
Very much so. And you immediately get the impression that yes, these cousins were close initially. And they've been separated for such a long time now that their own individual personalities have blossomed in different directions, and they're obviously being put together on this tour, or put themselves on this tour, and now it's a case of I think they're just trying to figure each other out in that respect now. Because
I saw that slightly differently.
Yeah.
So I think their characters are exactly the same as they were when they were growing up.
Right.
Because they reference it quite a lot during the film, but because they've been absent from each other. They have this kind of polite respect for each other when they first come back together again. And then when that polite respect kind of starts waning because they're spending much more and more time together, their original characters come out again.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
You see, because I was getting the impression that Benji was constantly just reminding David, about Jesse's character, that Jesse used to be so much freer, so much wilder, so much.
Used to cry a lot.
So much more emotionally in tune with his own self, and yet now life has taken over. He's become a family man. He's working, so he hasn't got time for those sort of very thinly layered emotions that come through immediately.
Yeah, but then also you have the dialogue where basically they used to go out and they used to try and stay awake walking around New York all night, and he would always fall asleep on the bench. Right. So I think the deep ingrained characteristics were there, but the beautiful thing about this film is how their characters come out and develop, and the interaction between the two of them as the story progresses, because you basically have Kieran Culkin's character that is we all have that person in our lives that walks into a room and is effervescent and is an absolute lantern. When they walk into a room and everybody magnetizes towar's them, they're fearless, and they're the ones that will dance like no one's watching, and he's that type of character, and there's definitely a bit of jealousy from Jesse's character towards him. However, because he knows him so well, he knows that there's also the dark side of Kieran's character. And I thought it was just a really beautiful balance of those two personalities who are clearly so close that there's no kind of barriers between them, having been separated and brought back together again, and watching those barriers kind of tumble and through this journey, and the background plot to this whole movie is basically going to the concentration camps in Poland and other kind of sightseeing in Poland, and for me it was just a really, really beautifully told tale. I just thought it was a really, really wonderful paced thing.
I felt that the character Benji was so layered in this film that you went through 4 or 5 different levels of his personality, even through every single meeting. So initially, you had this you had a very bolshy cousin who would choose to use the bathroom first, who would take the phone off his cousin without even any contemplation about whether his cousin wanted to keep his phone on. He was very bolshy in that, and very bullish in that respect. And then yes, he was very charming, and he was incredibly outgoing, and he could charm the pants of anybody, and he was incredibly sort of easy to get on with. But then there was a self-destructive mechanism.
Oh, 100%.
And so as soon as 1 or 2 layers of his skin were shaved away, he became incredibly thin-skinned when it came emotionally. Got incredibly angry at not just at himself, but at the world for not feeling the same way he feels, and he would attack everybody in the group. Now,
but not as a collective as such. Generally, did he?
No.
All of his attacks were generally because he comes across as an incredibly introspective human being, and the whole point of the party thing I was trying to say was, when we have these people in our lives that do that, we also know there is the car crash element of that personality as well. It's a narcissistic characteristic, or it's a really self-absorbed. I mean that whole why don't you go and grab yourself a shower? I'm just going to go use the shower first. It's that thing.
And I go to hit your phone because I want to listen to music. Sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he had that bizarre mixture of being incredibly in touch with his feelings, and his frustration towards everybody else not having the same level of feelings he had, but at the same time, in the same sentence, he was almost incredibly self-centered as well.
Oh, incredibly, yeah, absolutely.
So
he had the ability. He had the ability to be incredibly selfless and inviting.
Yes.
And he would do it selflessly. So like, there's one interaction with a mature lady that when I first saw it, I was thinking, hello. He's trying to get in that pants. Basically.
Yeah, it is now.
And he actually he wasn't. It was just a beautiful interaction between the two of them. Yes.
Are we doing this for the same reason about the mature lady?
Have you figured out who the mature lady is?
Nope.
Nikki will come to that in a second. But
it's already on my notes.
So what I really, really adored about this film was the name of the movie.
Yes.
Okay, and the name of the movie I felt that worked in like several different layers.
Oh, so clever, absolutely, yeah.
So it's one of these situations where the director has chosen, or Jesse's obviously chosen the name of this movie to portray all the different segments of this film. So you've got the real pain, which is basically Benji. Although he's lovable, he's a right pain.
He's a real pain.
Absolutely. And for so many reasons, he's real pain because he's too cheerful. He's a real pain because he's too heartfelt, and he's a real pain because he's a real pain really because everybody loves him, and everybody ignored Jesse at the end, really to a certain extent, because Jesse was possibly the most solid character at the entire film. But he was quite forgettable compared to Benji, and I think everybody's going to be...
Oh, there's one little scene when the tour guide...
Yes, I know. Yeah, exactly. We won't go into details like that.
Of course we won't, but I am allowed to speak about it, James.
Of course
That's what we do on this thing as a podcast. It's a beautiful scene,
scene.
It's very, very funny.
Now, there's 2 other things that came to mind when I was watching this film. One was the costumes, and the second was the music. The costumes, Benji's costume changes were quite dramatic, and I think he anticipated the American going to Europe look. Mm-hmm. Everything was there was lots of fleeces, there was lots of ill-coloured pieces, and to me it was a real portrayal of, because although Jesse's character David, he just wearing a shirt and a pair of chinos and a baseball cap pretty much all the way through the film, whereas Benji had these horrendous fleeces ever so often, which were brightly coloured and just wearing a pair of shorts.
And the ankle length, the Tom Ford length cargo pants.
Yeah, but it weren't even Tom Ford. I was
talking about the length.
Yeah, I would say it was close to the white stuff what he was wearing, and I think that really was a very clever costume choice of for his character. I think it really portrayed his character quite well. And the second thing was the score, the music score, which is obviously all Chopin.
Yeah.
Which obviously in reference to the Polish composer Chopin, and I felt 2 things. Number one is the movie, and I've already hinted off the fact that there was definitely elements of Woody Allen, definitely elements of Sideways through this entire movie, but also elements of Curb Your Enthusiasm as well, with the humour, that sort of slightly edgy, slightly embarrassing humour all the way through it. And they could have easily put a Curb Your Enthusiasm sort of instrumental jazz soundtrack to this whole movie, and it would have made it a lot more light-hearted. It would have made it a lot more jovial, but I think it wouldn't have taken the subject matter and the location seriously enough. And I felt the Chopin, the beautiful scored Chopin, really portrayed, sort of took you away from the humour and brought you back to the location where it was being filmed. The only thing I felt about this, I felt sometimes that the score was too loud.
Yes, it was. Yeah, there was.
And it overtook the text.
But there is a moment where the bus is leaving the concentration camp, and we're watching it in silence.
That's right.
And for longer than you would expect, and it is a really beautifully somber moment. And then the Chopin comes in, and that was a
beautifully edited moment.
Yeah, a moment of the score actually being really, really emotionally used. Yeah,
I agree with you completely. And to be able to still have a light-hearted comic, because it is a comedy to a certain extent, film on a road trip to a concentration camp and then back again.
Yeah, see, because I wouldn't really classify it as a comedy. I mean, there are moments of joy and wit in it, without a doubt. But the Woody Allen reference, I think, is really is spot on. I think that's really cool. That you don't come out of a Woody Allen movie generally feeling like your sides are aching from laughing.
You're not doing a Nicolas Cage high kick and going, yeah, what a fantastic movie that was. But it was the sides of your mouth went up a little bit. It was humorous. It was, you laughed, you chuckled to yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you're laughing at the situation.
Actually, to be fair, I did actually guffaw at that one scene that you wouldn't let me talk about earlier on.
Yeah. It's got, I mean, because of Kieran, his lack of direction, apparently, and after watching the movie, his lack of direction from Jesse, because Jesse tried to direct him, and every so often he would turn around and go, "Are you giving me notes? Are you giving me notes?" And Jesse would go, "Yeah, it's my movie," but it wasn't his movie. It wasn't Jesse's movie. It was the other actor's movie. I still can't pronounce his first name.
Kieran.
Yes, Kieran. Yeah. Yeah, so it was.
I don't think it was. I think
it was written and directed by Jesse Eisenberg.
Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, but sorry, I didn't even mean the actual kind of structure of the manufacture of the film. It's the whole Laurel and Hardy thing. You need to have a foil to the comedian.
Oh, you do.
And you need to have the straight man to the.
Yeah,
I
mean he'd be lost without him. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, it would just be absolute chaos. I mean, for me, this was. I always talk about character development. I always talk about plot development. Yeah. There isn't really a plot to this.
The characters
two
definitely
boys go away. The character development in this, for me, is absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
And and there's been a lot of time.
Even with a tour guide.
It's just so clever. It's just
absolutely
brilliant. Yeah.
However, let's go back to other members of the cast.
Oh yeah, talk to me about this.
So there is a female member of cast, and I think David. I think Benji did visit her in the middle of the night when those glasses went in the middle of the night and he disappeared. I think he definitely spent the night with her. I think something definitely happened personally. That's all I think. Yeah. However, who played that role? Who played the feet? Who played the?
Did you recognise him?
I had no clue whatsoever.
Yeah.
Oh.
Would you like to?
He doesn't know that nobody puts baby in the corner, does he?
Oh, was it?
It was
Jennifer
indeed.
Grey.
Was it seriously?
Absolutely, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, not unrecognisable, and I think she's had one or two appointments with the surgeon.
Yeah, apparently she regrets it.
No. She's open. She's
talks about
very open about it. And that's the reason why I didn't recognise her.
She's had a reduction in
Yes.
this area.
Yes.
And apparently she regrets it because
cool.
people don't recognise her now.
Oh, fair enough.
Not at all.
There we go.
Not in the slightest. So there you go. To finish this off, I think the casting of this was impeccable. I think to cast Kieran as Benji was a genius move, and there's not very many other actors I felt could have pulled that role off in that level.
Oh, it's like it was written for him. Yeah, I mean, it's him. It's him.
Yeah.
You know, and I think Jesse probably did write this role for him, and because for me it feels like Jesse is the one that's actually acting to play his role.
Yes.
Whereas Kieran is just very natural and just doing what he does.
Absolutely. So there you go. Shall we do other reviews first before we give our scores?
No, I think you should do your scores first.
Okay, I'm giving it a 7.8 out of 10.
Oh, that's really good. I'm giving it 8.2.
8.2.
This is my kind of movie.
Yes.
This is my
I
kind
really
of
enjoyed
film.
it.
Yeah, me too.
So that gives it a score of 8 so far.
I like it. Okay, so...
Shall I do some facts first?
Yes, get facts and then scores.
Okay, so Jesse Eisenberg is actually 5'7".
That's a good height.
And Kieran Culkin is 5'6".
5'7" is tiny.
Excuse me, that's my height.
I'm
For a
taller than
man.
Kieran.
Let me
Thank
finish.
you.
You two are so interrupting today.
Jennifer Grey, who is a Jewish American, was overwhelmed when visiting Mismatched and couldn't stop crying. Jesse Eisenberg initially kept some of her reaction in the film, but ultimately decided it disrupted the tone of the film.
Yes.
For most of the film, David wears navy blue while Benji wears maroon. The colours switch towards the end of the film, noticeably on their last day of their trip as they head to their grandmother's town.
Really? I didn't know. Oh.
And there is a Home Alone 2 Easter egg in there. Did you notice it?
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen the second version of Home Alone, so I don't think I'm going to...
It's the one to New York.
Is it?
Yeah, so Easter egg to Home Alone 2, also starring Kieran Culkin. The scene in the restaurant after Kieran Culkin leaves the table, Diane says, "What a troubled young man."
Oh, and is that a line out of...
Yeah,
All right, okay, fair enough.
And then just quickly, as you said, the piano pieces heard throughout the film are the work of Chopin, who is a Polish composer and piano legend.
Yeah.
Because I can't say that word. Who is regarded one of the greatest musicians in history. And the hat bought by Benji is a traditional Polish Highlander called a gorel hat.
With a feather on it.
And it's worn by men living in the mountains in southern Poland.
There you go.
There we go. Who knew?
Our producer.
I did.
Yeah.
Our producer did.
And then just two more quick facts.
Okay.
It's the film debut of Banner Eisenberg, who is Jesse's son.
Right.
And Disney Searchlight Pictures acquired worldwide distribution rights for the film for $10 million in an all-night auction at the Sundance Film Festival.
An all-night auction.
That's
Imagine
so cool,
that.
isn't it? You sounded so Dr. Evil when you said that.
What?
$10 million.
It's already had 42 award wins and 84 nominations.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Including 2 BAFTAs.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Some BAFTAs.
It's great. That is what the
It's
cinema
filmmaking.
is for.
It's beautiful filmmaking.
It's so beautiful.
Yep.
Loved it.
And it won a Golden Globe.
Fantastic. Good.
Nice.
I think we've got a couple of reviews, haven't we?
Are you sure you want them?
100%.
Okay, let me just get them. So we've had 2 reviews from Tucker TV.
Right.
Peter,
Hi.
would you like Hannah's review first or Richard's?
Oh, I'm going to go for Richard's first.
Okay.
Right.
So he says, "This is controversial, James. My review. As someone who typically enjoys action sci-fi films, I found a real pain to be quite slow and lacking in direction. The story, which follows a road trip to Poland to explore the cousin's grandmother's Holocaust history, doesn't seem to go anywhere, which made it hard for me to stay engaged. I also wasn't a big fan of Benji's character. He came across as annoying and completely oblivious to his cousin David's feelings. Benji seemed so self-absorbed in his own pain that he failed to notice or support David, which made it difficult for me to connect with him. Overall, while the film had its moments, it didn't resonate with me. The exploration of their grandmother's Holocaust history felt underwhelming, and I felt it didn't add much depth to the story. I'd give it a 4 out of 10.
Oh, I do like a controversial... And he didn't repeat himself over and over again, which is quite nice.
Oh, I've got no problems with that review.
I quite liked it. It was eloquent, and I thought. And do you know what? When
it's
we
just
came
not his kind of film.
No, when we came out the cinema, we were talking, and he said, "What do you think about it?" And I knew he didn't like it.
Yeah.
So I
Can we
kept
have
my
Hannah's?
powder. Absolutely.
Yep.
Hello, this is Hannah,
Hi,
and
Hannah.
my review of A Real Pain. A Real Pain is a film about two cousins joining a tour in Poland, and they're there to see how the Holocaust impacted the region their grandma came from, and ultimately find the house where she used to live to honour her memory. It's a short film, and nothing hugely dramatic happens in it. Yet for me, it managed to deliver a huge amount just through the journey they take. I thought the dialogue between the two cousins, Benji and David, was often actually hilarious, but also at times really quite tragic and uncomfortable viewing. Kieran Culkin is hugely compelling to watch in this film as Benji. I loved watching him in this film. One of the ways the title of the film can be taken is that it's his character that's often a huge pain to be around, as he's really raw and challenging. Saying that, I often thought he was often making really important points, and it's quite hard to disagree with some of his emotional responses to what's around him. And this is why he's actually the one that the tour group kind of engage with, and I thought the film was smart in showing us how we're so often drawn to those that are really different to us and kind of make life a bit uncomfortable, but they really do make us feel something. There's no super climactic ending to this film, but it's also, again, I think thanks to the amazing acting of Kieran Culkin, just one of the most moving final shots of any film I've seen for a long while, and it's really stuck with me. I'm not sure that this film is for everyone, but if you enjoy films about characters, quite literally in this case, going on an emotional journey, then it will be 90 minutes well spent for you. I'm going to give it an 8. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you so much, Hannah. I have to say, what an eloquent review.
Very eloquent. And what a beautiful speaking voice. She has.
Hasn't she? Just and she's nice and focused.
Yeah.
Doesn't get sidetracked by any silliness.
She doesn't get interrupted.
Absolutely, exactly. We're in the wrong game. Yeah. We are in the wrong game. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Tucker TV, for your honest and sort of contrasting reviews.
It is going to bump a beautiful movie off our top 10 board.
This happened, but I'm sure it will be bouncing back.
That makes it a 7.
That makes it a 7.
Scores.
Yeah, it makes it a 7. Right, so there you go. That's our review of the film A Real Pain.
What day of the week would you go and see it?
Oh, Thursday night.
I'm an any day of the week, mate.
Thursday night.
Right up my stride.
I don't think I'd watch it Saturday. Friday or Saturday night. I don't think I'd watch it on Friday. I think if I was streaming it, I'd go. No, I'll wait till Sunday.
Oh, fair enough.
If I was there sitting there Friday night, I'd go. No, keep my powder dry.
Yeah, but you'd do a horror, wouldn't you?
I'd do a horror.
So I sat on a plane for some hours this week.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it a secret plane?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was intended to be.
Okay.
It didn't end up.
You tried to be.
Yeah, I tried to be. And I ended up negotiating what
And?
was allowed to be photographed and what wasn't.
Yep.
Okay, I cried on the way out and I cried on the way back. I watched 2 films, which one of them I've been talking about seeing for absolutely ages,
right.
which was The Outrun with Saoirse Ronan.
Now, is this the alcoholic Irish story?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's an adaptation of Amy Liptrop's novel.
Right.
And it is an absolutely wonderful piece of cinema. If you haven't seen it,
I haven't.
You have to see it. It's this incredible story of a girl who's in the absolute grips of alcoholism, living in London, and basically the alcoholism is just takes it out of normal life and into just absolute chaos, and you just feel so heartfelt and so sad for the destruction.
Is it set in present times?
Yeah, in present times.
Right, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And then she basically goes to I've forgotten the island. I think it's the Isle of Skye. Help me out, please, producer. To assist in her recovery, and you have this kind of bipolar personality of the beautiful, sober,
Yes.
animal-loving, caring character
Beach walking.
juxtaposed against this alcoholic, chaotic, just mess.
Wow.
And it is honestly, I just sat there and welled up the whole way through it.
Wow.
I thought it was absolutely stunning.
So you recommend it?
You have to go and see it. This is homework for you, James.
Okay, good.
You have to go and see
Good.
this.
I would definitely watch it.
I cried again.
On the way back.
No.
Are you giving the Outrun a score? Is this?
I don't know how to do this. I was going to wait for your response. So I would like James to see it. I can score.
Okay.
I can score it
No,
now.
that's fine. It is the Orkney Islands.
The
just
Orkney
to let
Islands.
you
That's
know.
what I meant to say. Thank you.
And it marks the first time that a film was shot off the Orkney Island, Papa Westray.
Not the papa.
No, not that kind of papa. I won't do any other spoilers
good.
then.
Okay.
Please watch it this week.
Okay, give me a score.
I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
It is absolutely, again, it's just an absolutely stunning acting masterclass. It is so beautiful.
So that's one piece of homework I've got.
Yeah.
Good.
Now there's another piece of homework.
I'm all ears. You know, I like a good weepy. I'm going to be dehydrated by the time I see it.
I'm going to review this with you next week.
Right.
I cried
Yes.
at the Wild Robot.
Did you? No, don't laugh.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that.
I cried it Inside Out.
I watched
2.
So I got to my destination,
Yeah.
and I was just like, is that just because I was a broken human being?
Yeah, probably a bit of both.
So I watched it on the way back, and I cried like
It's
a baby.
beautiful, isn't it?
It is.
It's
Have
so
you seen
beautiful.
it?
I've seen it.
It
It's one
is-
of my favourite films.
It is honestly one of the most
Wild Robots.
beautiful things I've ever seen in my entire
Is
life.
the-
And when I
is-
say beautiful,
Yeah.
it's visually
Is the robot drinking?
stunning.
It does have 97% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Does
It is honestly one of the most wonderful things you'll ever see
Sunday
in
movie?
your entire life.
Every day.
Yeah. Say Sunday. Just
I'm gonna say Sunday.
watch on Sunday.
I'm gonna watch it on Sunday.
And then come
Incredible
back,
cast
and
as well.
we will review this.
Okay, I'll
together.
come back to you, and I'll also tell you about how I felt about Outcast as well. Is it one?
The Outrun.
The
Outrun.
Outrun.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Outrun and Wild Robot.
The Wild Robot.
Right. Well, I've hopefully got some cheerful homework for you that doesn't involve horror.
Oh, don't get me wrong. The tears for the Wild Robot.
Yes.
I would watch this film every week for the rest of my life, and I'll probably still cry every time I see it.
Okay.
The Wild Robot is on YouTube, Apple TV, Google Play, Sky
Everywhere.
Store, and Amazon
They both
Prime.
are.
But you
They're-
do have to pay for it. It's not free with any subscription.
That's fine.
You can have this on me.
Oh, bless you.
And
I'll
that
treat you.
Outrun
Yeah.
is available
On Sky.
on probably
Yeah, I think so.
on YouTube, Google Play, Sky Store, Amazon Prime, and Apple TV.
Good. Okay, I'll definitely watch those two. Right. I like it. I like to get the homework, but it's fresh and refreshing. Fresh and refreshing. Just fresh. Fresh. So,
What's he doing?
I don't know. I think he's trying to work out what we're doing next.
Okay.
Which is you reviewing your homework from last week.
Oh, I didn't do anything.
no, he's seen enough films, I think.
I was
that
joking.
just
But I am going to give him a new piece of homework.
Awesome.
Okay.
And this piece of homework was something that I think we tried to watch this before Christmas,
Okay.
and is now available on Prime.
Okay. Cool.
I've heard 2 people come back to me and say how funny this film is.
Mm-hmm.
Also, how weirdly poignant it is as well. We know their photographer, because it is a group of people. Mr. Kai Price is their official photographer. It's around the Northern Ireland group, rock pop group, and the film's called Kneecap.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh yes, I remember us talking about this one.
talking about this. Yeah.
Available on Prime. So I haven't seen this either.
Okay.
So my thoughts were we could both watch it and then both come back to each other afterwards.
Okay.
Okay.
Should we just watch all 3 together? Should we just sit?
Oh, have
We
a little
should
date
do.
night.
We
You so
should do.
should.
We could do, couldn't we?
It's available on Prime, YouTube, Google Play, Sky Store, Curzon, and Apple TV.
So it follows the story of a group of Northern Ireland rock stars or pop stars making
They're a
it.
rap band, aren't they?
I think they're a rap band.
Do you want me to give you the
Please.
synopsis? It says, when fate brings a Belfast teacher into orbit of self-confession, low-life scum. The needle drops on a hip-hop act like no other. Rapping in their native Irish language, they soon lead a movement to save their mother tongue.
I like it. And I think it's Michael Fassbender, isn't it?
Yep.
And the last sort of British-esque music film that he was in was Frank's Sidebottom.
Sorry, pardon?
You know Frank Sidebottom?
Yes, I know
Yes,
him.
he played Frank Sidebottom in the movie.
Shut your face.
He did.
Are you for serious?
Yeah.
Wowzers.
There you go. There's a little in movie fact there for you. Yeah.
95% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What Kneecap has?
95%.
Yeah, I've heard it's
yeah.
amazing. I heard it's
This
amazing.
is going to be a great week.
Isn't
for
it
you,
going to
isn't
be?
it?
It's going to be an amazing
You're
week. And then we've
not-
got cinema galore
What are
as
we going to see
well.
at the cinema this week?
I have booked some films, but I can't remember what I've booked now.
He says, looking
producer,
at me.
what have
Let
I
me
booked?
just- While I'm trying to find what you booked, why don't you tell people where they can find us?
Well, if you'd like to watch us, you can watch us on YouTube. We've got a fantastic YouTube channel. You can see what Peter and I are wearing, and you can also see Nikki when she's actually shouting at us, but quietly, you see. But if you want to listen to us,
We all look very good today. I have
we
to
do,
say.
don't we? If you want to listen to us, if you just want to listen to us, if you want to downstream us on your podcast while you're walking down the street, you can download it on any one of your podcast related streamable devices. It could be Apple. It could be. You're just shaking your head now, aren't you?
Because I should have let you do it.
It's a shambles.
Is this? Am I just spiraling?
It's a shambles.
I quite like it though.
From whichever streaming platform you choose to download your podcast. It's so simple.
Yes, I know, but it sounds boring when you say it.
And you can also send us a text message.
Yes.
In the description, click on send a
That's right.
message, but you need to let us know who you are.
And if you do know us personally,
Yeah. Text us,
Mm-hmm.
WhatsApp us, slide into our DMs,
Mm-hmm.
etc. You're going to see Wolfman apparently
yes,
tomorrow.
I am.
Yeah.
And
On
what was the
Sunday,
other
I'm
one?
going to go see some. Oh, Bob Dylan.
Saturday night.
Yeah. When's that out? Is it out?
It's out. I'm going to go and see that on Sunday, and Saturday night I'm going to see something else as well. I can't remember what I'm going to see.
You are going to see one called Saturday Night.
Oh yes.
When are you going to see
It's
it?
a preview.
What night would you watch that?
Saturday night. It is. We've been invited, and I think you've got the membership as well. We can go and see a preview of Saturday Night, which is the Saturday Night Live film.
Oh, right, okay.
And you've got young versions of Dan Aykroyd and how they set up the whole sort of Saturday Night Live setup. So that's going to be quite interesting, 1970s retro-y sort of film with lots of
Interesting.
humour in it. I can imagine there's going to be lots of shouting. John Belushi's going to be throwing things round.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Can't wait.
Chaos and angst.
Yes. Beautiful. There you go. Have we finished, Nikki?
We're done.
There you go.
Do you want to do the honours?
Over to you, Peter McPete. Popcorn Pundits.
Podcast.
Week 64.
64 in the bag. I shouted at that, didn't I? I got a bit shouty.
Sorry.
Thanks for listening and watching. Bye.
See you. Goodbye. Going out for dinner.